Woolworths may have reported a lower profit because of its Dick Smith write-down, but the supermarket giant remains an incredible money-spinning machine. Woolies has about $800 million a year in free cash flow. And thanks to the generous payment terms it negotiates with suppliers, it can use that cash to great advantage. Neil Woolridge takes a look.
It might be a tough time for retailers, but in an era when cash is king, the supermarket heavyweights still retain a decided advantage through their size, buying clout and cash flow.
What the major retail chains, in particular say the supermarkets, try to do is they try to get terms which mean that the goods arrive in the stores as close to the day that they will sell as possible, and then they try to get extended payment terms beyond that.
It all starts at the checkout, where shoppers have to pay up front. But typically the supermarkets themselves don't have to pay their suppliers until 2 or 3 months later.
Well, it usually means that the best retailers in the world run a treasury function and they make money out of having that money.
So what they've effectively got, brilliantly, is they have 75 days to actually play with billions and billions of dollars.
Between them, Australia's big two supermarket chains clock up over $60 billion a year in sales, and together they have a free cash flow, or profits less capital spending, of more than $1 billion a year.
They can fund their growth from the cash flow proceeds from their suppliers. So it's a brilliant way to build your business, because your business can be built on your funding that you get from the suppliers.
Retail analyst Peter Ryan says the most sophisticated international chains have this down to a fine art.
In the case of, say, a Tesco in the UK, their systems are so advanced that they know exactly what day the goods will sell. The goods arrive in store the day that they sell, the invoice is taken up when the goods hit the store, and they're paid 90 days later, which means they've always got a lot of free cash flows.
And it's not just supermarkets who play the game. Tony Guattari spent 9 years at Harvey Norman. He says it's possible for suppliers to negotiate quicker payment, but in his day, Harvey Norman would insist on a 5% discount.
So clearly, if you're in a cash flow crisis, that might be a very, very opportune time for you. But for the retailer, a 5% additional margin to pay 30 days quicker is a very profitable business to be in.
While suppliers often raise concerns about supermarket power in Australia, none contacted for this story had a problem with their payment terms. Indeed, some retail watchers argue the major chain's cash flow advantage could help to keep prices down.
Relative to this market and relative to the size of this market, which, let's face it, is the total population of Greater New York or Greater London spread across the continental landmass of America, we do enjoy relatively good prices in our supermarkets.
Good prices perhaps, but the cash flow merry-go-round is another weapon the big players can use to maintain their dominance and keep potential rivals at bay.